Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to dive into another running app called Strava. For a lot of you that might be new to running, you're looking to track your mileage and you're probably messing around trying to figure out what is going to be the best running app solution for you. So I'm going to go into a detailed overview of the Strava app specifically to show you some of its pros and cons and see if it's a good fit for you. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. So again, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I would love for you to stay up to date on all future content. And today, specifically for this video, we're gonna try to hit 50 likes. So go ahead and smash that thumbs up button and let's do it. So when it comes to Strava, I've been using it now for a little over 2 years. It's definitely an app that I've enjoyed, and I think there's a lot of perks to it when it comes to a runner or even beyond a runner. That's one of the things that I do like about this app, that it goes above and beyond just running. But I do know that a lot of runners do choose to use this app because of its functionality and a lot of its key features. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw the Strava app up on the screen. If it's something that you have with you, go ahead and fire it up so you can follow along together. So as you can see here, I have the Strava app pulled up on my screen, and it's going to take me to my main activity feed. So nowadays, when it comes to running apps, whether it's Nike, Strava, or others, the activity feed revolves around community. It's going to show friends of yours and their activity, and it's meant to be an encouragement. So similar to Facebook, how you have your wall, these activity feeds are becoming more and more popular when it comes to running apps and other apps that are activity trackers. So as I look at the app, I can see those that I follow, just what they've been up to. I'm able to see their photos. I'm able to like their runs. Some of them, they add pictures. Some of them, it's just going to show the GPS trail with how far they went. So it's kind of neat to stay up to speed with a lot of our friends. So again, when I said Strava is a lot more than just a running app, you can see one of my friends here, G, actually went on a 51-mile bike ride. So yes, Strava does track other sports, which I do appreciate about the app. So as you can see, the very top of my feed, it says following. I can click right below, right next to following, and it's going to say you. So it's only going to show my running activities or my activities that I've tracked. And then if I go to the far right, it's going to show clubs. So any club that I've personally joined, it's going to show the activity of those that are also in the club. So as I scroll through, I may not be specific friends with some of these people, and others I am, but it's actually going to show me the activity of the Ride AZ running club. Because that's a club that I do help facilitate here in Scottsdale. Next to the Ride AZ Running Club Scottsdale, you'll see a little down caret. These actually show other clubs that I am a part of. So for example, if I pick on the Giant Race Club, it's going to show everybody that's in that club and their activity. So again, it's just another way to connect with runners. If you are a part of the same club on Strava, it's nice to connect with people that perhaps you've never met. And it's a good way to just stay up to date and stay connected within the community. Now we're going to go to the very bottom of the page. We're going to see all the different icons that they have. So right now we're on feed, and we're going to go to explore. So when it comes to explore, you're going to see we have new options at the top. We have specific ones that are geared towards me. We have challenges, clubs, and segments. So again, it's kind of neat because Strava, when it comes to any type of activity app, you want to stay motivated. You want to find ways to be encouraged to get out there and be active to promote a healthier lifestyle. And I love these apps because they add a lot of value when it comes to that specific area. So again, this is Ride AZ, but you can see that we do have upcoming challenges as I scroll farther down to the bottom. So for example, Strava does have a February half marathon challenge. It gives you the whole month to complete a 13-mile run. There's also a virtual United Airlines NYC half and a Newsis Resolution Rev Up challenge, which ends February 7th. So here just in a few days. So it's nice because part of the hardships with the pandemic is it's caused races to be canceled everywhere because the crowds can't gather to do runs, and a lot of runs have thousands upon thousands of people. So it's nice that a lot of these companies or running organizations are starting to do virtual runs, and Strava is an app that a lot of them like to use. because you can dive into the app, you can join the club, you can join the race, and for some it may help you qualify for a medal to show completion of the run. For example, a big one that I like to do is the Lululemon Seawees half marathon. They also have a 10K, and what's really cool is when you register for the event, it does send you a link, you ping to the Strava app, you join it, you join their group, and then when you complete your run, it already lets Lulu know that you completed it so that you can then eventually receive your medal, which is pretty cool. So if I keep scrolling down, I'm gonna see clubs near you. So once this pandemic is all said and done, if you're still looking to get connected with other runners in your area, it is nice to see what's going on in your area based on the clubs that you are that you're close to. So for me, I have State 48 Runners, Run Steep, Get High, and ASU Running Club. You can see there is an option to select to see all running clubs near me, which is great. And for some of you, maybe you don't know exactly where to run. So out here in Arizona, there's a lot of trails around me. So right here, it's suggesting different segments that are near me, which are actually going to be trails. So I have Squaw Peak, Echo, and Cholla Canyon, which is at Camelback Mountain, and then Piestewa Peak Summit. So all of them I've done, they're all great. But again, for those of you that are brand new, it is going to provide options in your area for you to seek out that are very popular and common. So that's something to keep in mind. And then if I go down again, I'm going to see another challenge, another segment. It's going to suggest athletes near me, and then we just get into more challenges. So with us ending on that, I want to scroll back up to the top and click on the Challenges button, or the Challenges tab. And again, this is going to give me suggestions. It's going to recommend challenges for me. So as we look at this, we're going to see running challenges. We're also going to see cycling challenges, strength training challenges, all kinds of different challenges that I can join just to motivate myself to go out and be active. Again, with that being said, that's what's nice about the Strava app versus others, is it has tons of other activities other than just tracking running. So we're gonna go, if you look at the top underneath challenges, this is where we're gonna see what does Strava actually track. So you can see we have run. So if I click on run, it's gonna give me specific running challenges. If I click on ride, if I click on swim, if I click on walk, they have hike, they have workout, they have elapsed time, they have moving time. They have so many great options for you just to find something that fits your lifestyle. So again, I'm out here in Arizona. There's a lot of people that love to hike, so that's going to be a popular one. There's a lot of people that love to cycle out here, so that's another popular. If you've seen my Nike Run Club apps, you've seen that you could definitely track your mileage. So for some of these, if I'm cycling, I can track my mileage. If I go for a hike, I can track my mileage. The one thing I like about Strava is that it'll make more sense. So with Nike, you're only tracking your mileage in terms of a run. So your average pace per mile is not going to be the same for hiking as it would be for cycling, as it would be for running. So with Strava, you get to hone in a little bit more and select the specific activity that you're doing to make more sense of the stats and the numbers that you're seeing. So that is a huge bonus for this app that I really do like. So next we're going to check out clubs. Again, this is just going to show popular clubs near me. There's a lot, and that's something that I do appreciate. Whether you're into cycling, hiking, or running, participating in these activities in a community atmosphere is always going to be a lot more encouraging. And in my opinion, it's going to help you get out there more and pursue your healthy lifestyle, not alone, and you get to do it with people. So again, I can view all clubs, and this is just going to show all. If I want to find a specific club geared towards my activity, this is where again you can hone in. So maybe I'm into cycling, maybe I'm into triathlons. It does show other, but you can see there are a significant amount of triathlon clubs here on Strava that I could actually join and get connected with people in those specific activities. The cool thing about this also is you can select a location. So maybe I'm going to go visit a friend or a family member in another state. You can actually type in that location, do a search, see what clubs are going to be in those specific areas. Maybe then you can see what time they're going to meet, and you can not kind of spare your exercise or activity just because you're on vacation or another place. You can actually meet up and connect with other runners, or runners in my case, or other people that you would like to connect with while you're on vacay or away from home. So we're going to go back to the Explore, and we're going to click on the last tab, which is going to be Segments. So Segments is great because it's going to show you any segment that's in your area. So again, for me, because I am in Arizona, it's going to show me tons of great hiking trails that are very popular. You can click on a segment, you can open it up, and it's going to show you all of the stats that for this specific one. So it's going to be 1.1 miles. It's going to be almost 1,200 vertical going up at an 18.9% grade. You can see the leaderboard, so who's done this the fastest, which is kind of cool. So if you are a competitive person, these segments can be a lot of fun in terms of seeing what the fastest times are and seeing if you want to beat that. So whether it's all time, you can see up here all time women this year. So you're noticing I am getting an alert, and we'll talk about this a little bit later. So I'm going to go back to Segments Explorers again. I can see the different ones that are located out in my area. Perhaps you're not going to have segments based on where you live, and that's totally okay. So that pretty much covers the Explore section of the Strava app. So now I want to jump to the Record section. So this is how you're going to actually track your mileage with whatever sport that you're doing. It's very simple. It is GPS based, and that is the only option, is for it to be GPS based. So that is something for me personally that I'm not a huge fan of. One thing I like about other apps is they do have an indoor treadmill option for those that are perhaps looking to run. Strava currently does not have that option. So basically, once you see your GPS, you're gonna start run, you're gonna fire it up, you're gonna be good to go. Now, if we click up here on the settings button on the top left, you can see your display settings, your audio cues, segments. Do you wanna auto pause? For me, I don't do auto pause, even though I'm a street runner. A lot of people like to stop their time while they're waiting at a stoplight. I don't care, I don't like to do that. You can set up a heart rate sensor, and then it does have a beacon on and off. Again, I'm getting this alert, which we'll talk about. So I'm gonna go ahead and push done. Again, the foot thing down here, you can just change what are you actually doing. So is it gonna be a run, a ride, a walk, a hike, canoe? You can see there are a lot of options that Strava has, which in my opinion is a huge bonus to them because it helps create accurate timings for the specific activities that you're doing, which is huge. So I'm gonna dismiss that. Again, this is where you can connect a heart rate sensor. I personally don't have one, but if you do have one, that's something you can do. And if I click this beacon one on the right, again, I'm gonna get this alert that comes. So we're gonna go ahead and close out of this. And next, we're gonna jump over to profile. It's very easy to set up. It'll let you know how many people you're following, who's following you, and then you're gonna see all your stats. So for me right now, when it comes to 2021, I do not have any stats in Strava. Typically in the winter times, for me, I run indoor a little bit more, and Strava's not gonna track indoor. With Strava, I can manually add my activities. So if I do go back to the feed section, if I click the plus button, I can add a post, a photo, or a manual activity. So for some of you guys that do like to run indoor on a treadmill, you can still manually enter your stats into Strava so that you can track it all in one place. I'm gonna go ahead and cancel this out. Go back to profile. It's gonna let you know any trophies that you've collected throughout your time using the app with the different challenges you've done. It's also gonna let you know the clubs that you are a part. So if I do go to training, this is where I keep getting these alerts and it keeps saying join now and save 37%. So Strava does have a paid version that has a lot more add-ons when it comes to tracking your training or a lot of other features. Now, what I've just showed you, all of that's free. It's on the free version of Strava. So there are tons of features and functionality that is offered for free. But for those of you that are a little bit more advanced, maybe you're looking to compete in a more elite status, you want to do large training programs, that's where paying for this upgraded version could be very beneficial for you. So that's something to consider. For me personally, I've never felt the need to join and do the paid version, but I do have some friends that are elite runners in terms of long distance, doing 100-mile runs and different things like that, to where they've created pretty elaborate training plans through Strava to where it's been very beneficial. So again, for me, I don't use it, not necessary, but it is something that is an option. So one thing I did talk about is Strava not having the ability to track indoor runs. Now, one of the cool things that I do like about Strava is it does connect with running watches or activity watches, such as Garmin, such as Apple Watch, and others. So if you do have those watches and you're able to track those runs on your watch, or if you're able to track those activities on your watch, you can sync them to your Strava to where they will push to your actual Strava. So I have friends that whenever they go do yoga on their Apple Watch, they will change it to yoga, and then they will do their activity. And the nice thing about it is it'll track calories, it'll track time, it'll track all of those different features. And then when they push it to Strava, they will get to see a more in-depth of what their actual workout or activity consisted of. When I talk about some of us, maybe we want to add our treadmill runs to Strava, we're going to notice that we can only add time, distance, and what our miles were, our mile pace was. But we can't see heart rate, we can't see any of those other features. The only way you can get those uploaded if you have a watch that can track all that, or if you do have a heart rate monitor that will sync with the Strava app. So that is something to keep in mind. It is a little backdoor way for some of you. You may not have a running watch, and that's okay, because again, you can still track your miles in this app, but they do have other features to get around for those that, when you're doing yoga, you're not going to put your phone on you and you're not going to hide it so that, it can track. You're going to, if you have a watch, that makes sense, but there are activities that you're not going to be able to do. So sometimes those watches can be a huge benefit in terms of tracking your mileage. And the big reason I want to do this tutorial, especially for a lot of you that are new, it's very, very important to track your progress. Again, when it comes to running, the biggest downfall that a lot of new runners have is they go into this activity and they start comparing themselves to others. They start seeing that other people have a 6-minute mile pace, but they have a 13-minute mile pace. And they start to get defeated by the way they compare themselves to others, which prohibits them from actually continuing on in the journey. And so it's important to know that the running journey, or if you're a cyclist, or if you like to hike, it's between you and only you. It's not about comparing yourself to others. Now, yes, I say it's great to go out and be within community when it comes to these activities, but again, it's about the community and not necessarily competing with those unless you're a competitive person and that drives you. But for a lot of people, you're just getting into this to have a healthier lifestyle, which I think is perfect. So go into it knowing it's not about your mile distance in terms of what's your pace per mile. A 6-minute mile and a 13-minute mile, guess what? Both still completed a mile, and there's a lot of benefits to each person with how fast they did it. So it's nice to know when you're tracking your mileage per month, just to look back and see how far you've come. Because for a lot of people, they don't realize where they started at and they forget. And then, for example, maybe it was difficult for you to run 1 mile without stopping. So perhaps you had a 15-minute pace or a 14-minute pace. But 3 months later, now you're running a 5K and you're doing it in 30 minutes total. So now you're getting 3 miles in 30 minutes to where you used to run 1 mile in 15. So there's a lot of advantages, in my opinion, both mentally and physically when it comes to tracking your mileage, just to see your progress as a runner, to see your progress as an athlete, and to see how far you've come when it comes to creating a healthier lifestyle for you, which hopefully has a lot of other advantages in your life. So that's all I got for you today when it comes to Strava. Again, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think of the Strava app, if you use it, what are some of the features that you like. And again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. I would love for you to stay up to date on all future content. Until next time, YouTube, peace.